got enough light? There's a scratch pad. It's not a pad. It's just...
Sorry, we're live here. Bear with me, folks. I'm just going to be going live here on Facebook. Just waiting for our streaming to go live here. Be patient. Here we go. Done. I think we should be going live in here. So good. Meeting is now live streaming on Facebook. I'm going to make sure we're recording. And we still have some people logging on here. And there's Carla. Can you hear me, Carla, okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect, 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 perfect. I'm just going to go in, Carla, and make you co-host. So you are now able to share your screen, Carlos. Anyways.
Perfect.
Okay, so we're right about 8:31. We'll give another 30 seconds or so and more people are logging on. And welcome everybody to our first team training of 2021. So here we are, Jan 11. Everybody's on lockdown in handcuffs, headbands, face masks, whatever, and we're all still here and we're all still surviving and we're all still fighting through this together, and it is going to get better. We will get through this together. So welcome. I am absolutely delighted to have our guest trainer here tonight. First of all, tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Terry St. Ammon. I've been with Vox Life since before the company started. I am the second associate in Vox Life. My dear friend and line mate, Kevin Duguay is the first one, who's an incredible individual. And we have been doing these calls since the beginning of the company, back 4.5 years ago. And I'm delighted to have had the opportunity to go first. I've learned a ton of stuff as a network marketer from incredible people like Carla, who's one of our trainers, one of our amazing leaders in Vox Life. And when Carla comes to train, she brings a powerhouse training. And so this training tonight is going to be awfully exciting. And I'm coming to you from Brantford, Ontario, Canada, where I live. And Carla is in Saskatchewan right now as one of her places. She does have another residence over on the west coast of Canada. But with COVID and lockdown, she is in Saskatchewan during this winter. So Carla has done some amazing training. She was one of our summit speakers on our first summit that we did back in November. And we are just delighted to have Carla Archer here again with us tonight. And she's going to bring you a power pack training. Before we get going, I just want to make sure you guys all have pen and paper. Because we all tend to not be able to sink everything in necessarily. And this is going to be powerful, powerful stuff. So without further delay, it gives me great pleasure to introduce not only my dear friend, my teammate, but an incredible leader and trainer, Carla Archer. Take it away, Carla.
Well, thank you so much. And yes, welcome back, everybody. 2021. I am so excited to be here tonight to be the first of the year to present to you. Thank you for that introduction, Terry. And my name's Carla Archer. For those of you who don't know me, I've been with Fox Life for over 3.5 years now, going into my 4th year. And wow, we have just grown as a community so much over the time. And I think that's what really sticks to home for me so much, is that this sense of family, this sense of community, and we're always willing to help out each other despite what lines we're on or where we are, because we all know that we're on this mission together. And it's so important for all of the great leaders that we have in our organization. We're always contributing what we are good at, or the information that we've learned to help others move along. And as Terry mentioned, so much has changed in our world of business over the last 8 months or so. And we just have to embrace what it is, because although there's a lot to learn and it is a changing environment for us all the time, there are tools, there are ways that you can continue to do your business, and probably even do your business better in an online setting. That means that I know for some people it can be a little bit of a daunting experience. And so I'm here tonight just to share a little bit with you about something that's really fundamental. So I'm going to kick into my PowerPoint. So just give me half a sec to share here. And I had fun again making my PowerPoint today. So thanks for having me on. And we will get going. All right. So today I am here to talk to you guys about your personal profile page on your Facebook and a makeover for that, because most of us are using Facebook as our primary platform for social media. And that is great, because they always say, you know what, pick one platform, go with it, get really good at it, develop some consistency, and then build and grow from there. So whichever it is. So tonight we're going to talk about your personal profile page on Facebook. So I have a question for you. Where is the first place that you go to learn about someone who has perhaps messaged you, who has commented on one of your posts, who is hosting an online event, who might be teaching you something, or is a friend of a friend? We all go to their profile page. That's usually our first stop. And why do we do that? Well, I couldn't resist but sharing this picture of our lovely, wonderful compadre, Paul. It's because we want to know, like, and trust them. So visiting a person's profile page is going to tell us a ton of information about them, or it should. So just like Paul, for example, because he has been a great leader to us in this arena, we feel like we know him. Even for those of you who have never met Paul in person, you likely feel like you know this guy. He allows us to become part of his life because he's sharing bits of his life with us, and that really connects us with him. He inspires us with quotes and motivation, and he shows us his lifestyle that allows him to walk his dog in the morning while he's patching people in the park. He goes hunting and fishing and hangs out with his kids. He has built that relationship with us, and we love him for that, right? I think most everybody in the field could agree that we feel like we know Paul Austin very, very well. And it's because of the way that he shares himself with us on his personal profile page. And as a marketer, this is really important to develop that know, like, and trust, because know, like, and trust then leads to try, buy, repeat, and refer. So what do you think people are doing with you? When they get a message from you, when they see you posting something, commenting on their friend, they're sharing something in a group, what do you think that people are doing for you? But what has been the story that you're telling yourself about this? Because I come from a place where it was fearful for me to put myself out there. It was fearful for me to think about using my Facebook profile page. Or maybe for some, it feels like it's a little bit too much technologically. So we kind of stick our head in the sand and go, well, I'm just going to pretend it's not all happening and I just can't deal with it. And for a lot of us, we also feel that the people who see us on our social media page, on our Facebook profile page, may judge what we're putting out there. They may come back to us and criticize what we're doing. So there's a lot of feelings in and around, putting yourself out there like Paul does and sharing yourself with other people. But let's first start by demystifying what social media is a little bit. I always love to tell people, I'm nowhere near as popular as I thought I was. Because for a lot of us, we believe that if we post something on our Facebook social page, absolutely everybody is seeing this. And in fact, that's not true. And as a matter of fact, when you kind of get to the other side of using your profile page, you kind of wish that was actually true. But there's a lot of algorithms that go along with Facebook, and they're ever changing. And just to kind of give you an overview of what that means is Facebook is designed to be a social platform. It isn't designed to be a place necessarily where you go to sell products. It's about creating social relationships. So the way that Facebook does work is really based on your activity. How social are you being? And so it's really important, if you are going to post something on your Facebook page, that you're doing some pre-engaging. And what that means is taking some time, at least 5 minutes, and going and being active on Facebook. So liking people's posts, commenting, maybe sharing some things like that, and get the algorithm seeing. They're going, oh, okay, well, I see that Carla's really being social. So when I go to post something, it's automatically going to go, well, she's being social, so we're just going to put this out to other people to see this, because this is exactly what we want to see happening. Rather than coming in, not having done any activity, posting something, the likelihood of your stuff being seen really is dependent on your audience size and how you're participating. So just something to keep in mind too, if you believe that everything you put on there is absolutely being seen by everyone that you know. Equally as important as it is to pre-engage, it's also important to engage afterwards, because again, this is about being social. So if you have posted something, very important that you then are staying online at least for 15 minutes afterwards, liking any comments that may coming in, commenting back to people, asking questions, and being social, because that's what it's all about. So that goes back again to how popular are you? You're not quite as popular as you think, and it does take a little bit of work for people to see it. So you're not to worry that your friends and your family are being inundated with whatever you're posting all the time. Now, a lot of people also are concerned about, and it says people are strange. I hope the word strange doesn't offend anybody, but sometimes that is a big concern, that if you do put yourself out there, that all of a sudden you're going to get a bunch of people maybe that you don't want to coming into your Facebook world. And that true is not as true as we may believe it to be. We may run into or encounter unusual people to us at the grocery store, at the gas station, at the mall, other places that we are, probably as much as we do on social media. So typically, we're not inundated by all of that. So if that helps to just demystify a little bit of some of our feelings about putting ourselves on social media and what we believe to be true. In fact, maybe it isn't as true as we thought it was. So I go back to Paul. When you see Paul and you think about Paul, how does that make you feel? Well, it makes you feel like Paul's your friend. It makes you feel like he's somebody that you know, that's somebody that you trust, that's somebody that can uplift you maybe when you're down, a variety of different things. And what makes you any different than Paul? Because you are equally as interesting, and you have a lot to offer. You have value to offer. So let's talk a little bit about social media and why your profile page is so very important. And whether you're new to social media or you have been using social media for some time, your participation on social media all links back to your profile page. So for example, if you are already participating in a group where your ideal audience is housed, or they are talking about a certain thing, so say you're in a group, your ideal audience, maybe let's just use people with plantar fasciitis, and you're chatting with people in that group. Or you're in a group that shares common interests. Maybe you like to knit, you like to sew, paint, cook. Or maybe you have already had a launch party, which you've turned into a VIP private customer group, or you've just turned a group into a group for your customers. Perhaps you're using Facebook stories, or you're doing all of these things, or you're at online events and trade shows and you're hosting parties for people. You can see by this graph how everything is connected back to your profile page, and why having your profile page giving your best first impression is so incredibly important to your business. Because that profile page, as I just mentioned, is the very first impression that you give people. So if your profile page does not reflect anything about what you are discussing or who you're representing yourself to be in a variety of these groups, you can see where that's not congruent. And people might go, that seems a little bit odd, or this person doesn't really seem to be who they're talking about how they are, or they talk about that they're in business, but I don't see anything on their page that represents that. And linking back again to Paul and how important it is and how it makes us feel like we know him. We know that he's an honest business person. We know that we could trust him, and how we feel about him is how we need to make people feel about us. And we can use our profile page to do this. So again, back to it being your first impression that you're giving people. And as a business owner, it is also your online business card. Because again, you're going to be dealing with people in business circumstances, and they're going to be going back to your profile and looking at that and going, okay, what is this person all about? What do they do? What do they believe? What are the activities that they're involved in? What are their hobbies? And are they just all about business, or are they giving me a big, broad picture of themselves? So what do you guys say? Are you guys open to taking a look at how you can use your profile page to give your best first impression? Because I'm going to hop onto my profile page now, and I'm going to take you on a little bit of a tour of some of the incredibly valuable real estate that's on your profile page that you can use to connect with your customers and clients. How does that sound? Everybody's a go? I can't hear Terry, so.
We are all a go, Carla.
Okay, we're all a go. We're all still here. I can't see you. Sorry. Awesome. Okay, so let's start off with your profile page. Now, a lot of people will say, well, should I have a profile page or should I have a business page? And just a couple things that I know about that I'll share with you is a business page is good if you are buying paid ads, because again, this goes back to the algorithms within Facebook is what my understanding is. And if you're not buying ads on your business page, you are not getting a lot of visibility on your posts. Also, if you are just starting out with getting consistent and using Facebook as a tool, it can become a lot of work for you to manage both a profile page as well as a business page. And when you learn some of the areas that you can use on your profile page, your personal one, you'll really see that a business page may not be necessary for you. Now, everybody's different, and some people may decide to go that way depending on the level of their business. But for most people like myself, I just have now my profile page, and that's a lot for me to manage along with my stories. And we'll talk just a little bit too about some of the other places where you can be putting information with some of the groups. So let's get started. So the most important thing on your profile page is your profile picture. And this picture is you, and people come here to connect with you. So it needs to be a picture of you that is clear. It doesn't have to be a professionally taken picture. You shouldn't be wearing your sunglasses so that people can see your eyes. And don't be too far away so that people can see your face and make that connection with you, because that is so important on how people do connect with you with that picture. So a couple things you can play around with, taking a few pictures, using the portrait setting on your camera. If you have a tripod or if you have a family member that can help you out, and just take a few pictures, and you're able to zoom in on them, make sure that the quality is good, and find one that really suits you and put it in your profile. So that's the number one thing that's really important. The next thing that's really cool about this is that when you do update your profile picture, Facebook will automatically put this into your news feed. And this is a great way to start having conversations with people. And a little bit of hidden real estate that's in here is if I just click on this and I view my profile, you'll see here that I can edit and I can put something in here and just say a little bit of something. You can tell us a little story or just say hey to your friends. But you can see that I have some comments that went on here when I posted this picture. And it's really important that I engage with these people because this could be, people that I can work with in business. This can be considered leads, if you will. And this is how you start to learn how to communicate with people. So if you do change your profile picture, make sure that you put something in there, and then make sure anybody who responds that you give them a like, a love, and then respond back to them with a reply, whether it's a thank you or whatever the case may be. So a really great spot that a lot of people overlook is putting some information in there. So I'll hop out of there. The next thing is your cover photo. A lot of times you may see on people's profile pages where the heads are cut off. They might have their whole family, but all you're seeing is the neck down. You may see something that is like a quote. And what I've been told and have been learning, oftentimes if you have a quote back there, it's a true sign that you're a network marketer. So your cover page should show something about you. Show something that you like to do, something that's congruent with what you have going on. So I went one step further and I took this into Canva and I put 3 pictures of myself. So showing myself doing my work. I love to hike and be outdoors, and I love to dream big. So I just put my nice coffee mug picture on there. And you can change this on a regular basis too, because again, this is going to go into your news feed, which is going to generate activity on your page as well. So really good thing to do. Now, if you are putting a cover picture in here, one thing to keep in mind, say you're going out particularly to do a shoot for your cover photo, stand over to the side. So over in this area or over in this area so that your face and body or whatever's going on isn't blocked by your profile picture. So that's just one more thing to keep in mind there. One other thing too with this area is that you can click on it. And once again, it gives you the opportunity to put some messaging in here. Because it's going into your news feed, people will be able to comment and you're going to be able to get back to people and have a little chit chat with them in there as well. So it's a really great thing to do. Let's just get out of there.
Carla, just 1 second.
Yeah.
Just a question was raised in here just to be sure. People are commenting that it's really nice to see, the collage background on your cover photo. And please explain how you can get in the collage aspect of your cover photo for those that may want to, replicate what you've done here.
Right. I did this in Canva. So if you go into Canva and you can actually pick Facebook cover photo, and then you can create something in there. They have a lot of templates for you, or you can design your own. If you're unfamiliar with Canva, you can go into, I believe it's unit 12 in Voxination, and there are 4 videos in there that I did with my sister Jade, and we walk you through some of the basics of Canva. So that will certainly get you started and get your feet wet as far as that goes.
Okay, super, thank you.
And that's a free program too, so.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Okay, so now the next thing that we can do is you can see I have got some information under here. You get 101 characters to create your bio. So this is incredible real estate for you to be able to use to tell people something about what you believe in. So be the best you, I believe in that. Something about me, job free since 2009. I'm a golfer. Online business guide, I'm teaching others, and I'm part of a VIP academy. So maybe it creates some curiosity, but it shares a little bit more about what I'm about with people. And so when people come to visit my profile page, they get a little snapshot of what I might be interested in, and it may be something I can connect with them on. The other great thing too, and I'll just mention that quick, is that when you are visiting other people's pages who have this, these are great places to check as well to create connecting points with them. So when you're having a conversation, you can say, oh, hey, I saw that you're a golfer. I love to golf too. Like, how often do you golf, or whatever the case may be. So it's all about connecting with people. And this is a great way to be able to do that. So if we scroll down on the side, we have our intro. And we have tons of information in here that we can include about our work, where we've studied, and different things like that. So you would just go to the About section, and in here you can edit everything and add information in. You can add work, education, places you lived, family, relationship, details about you, and life events if you'd like. So all kinds of things that you can play around with in there. Also, another really great place where you should go in and add some information is edit hobbies and tell people a little bit more about yourself. So this just shares, again, a little bit more about yourself with your audience, but it also is another connecting point too that people can connect with you on. Or if you are looking at somebody else's page, that you can go and say, oh, what are they involved in that might be similar to me, or that we can have a little bit of a conversation about. The next section is the edit features, and this is something recently that I just learned as well, because sometimes I would have had just one picture in here, but this is a great space to provide social proof. So making these pictures a combination of things that you are. So I like to teach a little bit about business study. I like to travel. I've been on stage before, so that helps to, give social proof that a little bit of what I'm talking about. I put a picture of me with Ray Higdon here, just showing, okay, I've met some other people. I golf, I like to camp. So these pictures here are really, really important as to what you select to put in these areas, because again, it is providing social proof in and about yourself. Now, one other great thing is every one of these you can click on and you can tell people more about yourself. So these all have an edit section where you can put in details and stories. People can comment on this as well. You can share it, different things like that. So these are all spaces that you should be taking advantage of, and not just putting anything in there, but putting some thought into it as to who you are and how you want people to see you, and the pictures that you're going to be sharing with them in those areas. Now, your photo section, this is really equally as important too. So if you've got some pictures in here and you're going, geez, I don't know if I really want all these pictures in here. Like there's this 24-hour thing going around and I've been tagged in it. And this is a lovely friend of mine, but I'm going to see if I can turn off the tag. So then she's maybe not in here. Turn notifications off about this post. Do that. Okay, I got to figure that one out. I thought it was just as simple as taking her out, because I've done that before. If it was my own tag, I would remove my tag and then I could get that out of there, because again, I want these pictures to represent things that I want people to see. So not that I don't want them to see my friend, but it would make more sense if it was a picture with me and my friend or something of that nature. And then down here is the section where you have all of your friends. And then at the bottom is life events. And this is another really cool section where you can go in and add a lot of details about your life. So I'll put see all, and you can actually add, I'm just going to go down here now. I guess it's not going to show me all from there. We'll go back up to the top. Oh, I think it's right at the bottom, sorry. No, it's not. Let's just go back. We'll go back down there again. Okay, so it did say see all, but it didn't take us there, right? So it's not me, right? It's Facebook. But these are really great places where you can put some information in here and share with people as well. So I'm going to go up to the top, and I believe it's under more. It's under about. And we can go to life events, and we could add information in here. And the great thing is, okay, so when I did my first study group, I can put a whole bunch of details in here. So people who are checking me out, seeing what I'm about, can come in here and just learn a little bit more with respects to me. They can see that, the different things that I've been up to. And this also can be shared in your news feed, and people will comment on those. So it's another really great way to be able to connect with people. So you can see that there's a lot of areas on your Facebook profile page that you can use to just get yourself set up so that when people come, they get a snapshot of you. They get a representation of what you are all about, and that they're able to connect with you. Other things that you should do as well, and this might be a little bit scary, and it was scary for me too at first, was setting your profile page to be public. So that way that when you are going to do all of these changes, you start creating posts on a regular basis on your page, people are going to see that, because this is really what you want to do. You want to create an audience, because if we're scared of creating an audience, then our business really doesn't move forward, because we need people having eyes on our stuff to be able to share and to be able to help with people. So that's a really good thing to do. And you can also set your page to follow. Now, I'm okay if you want to be my friend, that's no problem at all. Send me a friend request, but there is no doubt that there is a limitation to, I think it's 5,000 friends that a person can have. And depending, you may just want to invite people to follow you. So they don't need to become your friend to be able to see the information that you're sharing. They can just follow you. So that's a really good thing to set up as well. I'm just going to stop my share. Pop back out. There we go. So that's just a quick overview of your profile page and many of the hidden areas that I didn't know about and that I've recently learned about and started using on a more regular basis. And it's an evergreen thing, your profile page, because your life is always changing and evolving. And so managing your profile page should be the same thing. Anything new that comes up that you want to share with people. And you'll quickly find that the more that you start to do that, the more that you start connecting with people, and people are lovely in general. They support you, they cheer you on. And maybe it's somebody you haven't seen or talked to in a really long time. I love that about it because it's a great way to get back in touch with people. And I've particularly found during the pandemic that I think I would be a little lost without social media. I'd feel pretty lonely in my little small town of 128 people in the wintertime if I didn't have social media to stay connected on. So it's been a really great thing for me to be able to have.
Carla, maybe you can go back. There's a question here from Nina on how do you set your page up to just follow versus friend?
Okay.
I know it's on, I know how to do it, but I think if you go back and share your page, you can maybe quickly show people how to
Sure thing.
do that on your profile page. It's a great question, by the way. Is this stuff good, folks, or is this stuff good? This is good stuff.
We got something even more exciting to share with you in a little bit here too. Okay, so you go to your home page and you go to your drop down arrow over here on the side and you pick settings and privacy. And then I believe you go to settings and privacy, right? Okay, so this is where you can set your page to public if you want to do that. And is it on the same page, Terry, that the follow button is on?
I'm pretty sure it is. I don't go in and change mine very often because I always leave mine set on.
Yeah.
While I hit it, so.
Well, I'll tell you what. I will be sharing that with everybody a little bit later on. That's one thing I didn't look up. I was like, okay, I got to figure out where the public is so that I know how to get back there. Let's just see. Well, Google will help us. How to
change setting to follow only.
Okay, select account settings. When the next page appears, click the followers tab to the left sidebar. This displays the followers setting page. Check the turn on follow option and the page expands to display some additional options. So there you go.
Yes, that's the nice thing. You know, with Facebook, they have the help page as well, but you can always Google specifically what you have, and you know, usually you can walk through it on Google and figure it out yourself as long as you take the time to do it. But yes, for sure.
Okay, they just told me, I just read that now, but.
You wonder.
I don't see the followers thing, do you?
It's not under privacy. It doesn't say anything about privacy first, right? Shortcuts, how to People can find you, everyone edit.
Well, we will find that out for you and we'll let you know.
Yeah, I've done it before to follow, but I don't ever set mine to following only. You know, I always have mine set to friends. When people do follow you, they can follow you or they can friend you, one or the other. You'll get notifications for both.
You'll know that you have set yourself up for following when you see this on your profile page. Right? There's
Yours
a little
is set up for following only right now, Carla?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So obviously you did it.
Yes, I did it. And I will be sharing that a little later on too. I will get that information for you guys for sure.
It's a good question, but it is in your
Yeah,
setup for sure. Okay.
You got me there. I'm sorry that I don't know. I don't have the answer.
Yeah, I've done it before, but I know it's in your settings on Facebook.
Yes.
So from your profile page, you can go to settings and.
Yeah, when I was reading these instructions too, they say that, but I don't see that. Click the followers tab on the left sidebar. I didn't see that. So maybe there's some changes. So I'll check into that and I will find some information. I'll put it in the comments.
We can put a post in the team page with the steps, Carla, and we'll just tag Nina in it.
Sure.
Yeah, great.
Sure, that sounds good. So, Terry, are we ready to share a little bit about what we have upcoming for everybody?
Sorry, Monica Warner says to go from friends to follow, go to privacy and setting tools, how people find and contact you. So there you go. It's in the comments on the live feed on Facebook. So she's saying go to go from friends to follow, go to privacy. So privacy, and then go to privacy and setting tools. How people can contact you. So.
Oh, I see.
Right down here, Carla, down in the center. Down, move your arrow right down, right there. So where it says how people find and contact you. So I think it's.
Oh yes, yep. I see that. Okay. Oops. Send friend requests. Who can see your friends list? I don't see that there.
Click on the everyone who can send you. You got that
This is everyone, yeah.
Yeah. Who can you address provided? Yeah, sometimes they change on Facebook as well.
So we'll do a little more research and we'll find that out for people.
Yeah, great. Okay. Thanks, Monica. We appreciate you.
So we have some exciting news for the field that we would like to share with you guys, some training that I'm going to be doing for you guys. I'm going to be offering you a 5-day profile makeover challenge. So tonight I talked briefly, about the importance of your profile page, and we kind of skimmed over some of the areas that you can use to maximize the real estate, the ability to communicate with your customers and clients and provide that know, like, and trust value. And starting January 13th, which is this coming Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every day for 5 days, so Wednesday through Sunday, I'm going to be going live in the Vaccination team page, and I'm going to cover one of those areas. So day one, we're going to start with your profile page. We're going to talk more about your picture, how important that is, some tips and tricks for taking your pictures, and some ideas about what you can put in that editing information. I'm going to talk a little bit too about how to communicate with the people who are getting back to you. Day two, we're going to go into your cover photo. Day three, we're going to work on your bio. Day four, we're going to work on the information on your about section. And then we're going to work on cleaning up your pictures and getting some of the other information that you can put on your profile page. So I'm super excited to have this opportunity to spend 5 days with you, sharing little bite-sized bits of information on your profile page and help you with some targeted activities to be able to start implementing some of those changes or just updating some of what you already may have on your profile page. These are all going to be recorded as well. So if you're not available at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the group, that's no problem. We'll create a units tab. How does that sound, Terry?
I had to unmute myself. Yeah, no, a units tab would be great for this challenge for sure. And to reiterate what Carla said, because there's a couple questions, what time? 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, starting on Wednesday, January 13th is the first day, and that's when the challenge will. So 2 p.m. Ontario time. Yes, Deb, that's correct. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard is correct. So in order to, you can send Carla a friend request. You can follow her, and let's all take this challenge. Let's all make our profile pages the best we can be for now. I mean, I've always said, Carla, from day one, that I believe that, you know, Vox Life is part of who I am, and so I should never be ashamed to share what I do on my profile page. But it's not, it doesn't define me per se.
Right.
So, you know, hiking, golfing, fishing, all those things that I love to do are so important for people to be able to relate to you. And you
Absolutely.
certainly demonstrated that very greatly here today, for sure.
And one thing too, there is no shame in it at all. One of the primary reasons that it is suggested that we don't put a lot about what we do about our business directly on our profile pages is because that creates independent researchers out of our customers and our clients and people who are visiting our page. We want to be able to have communication with those people as much as possible. So if we give them the information, they can go look it up themselves. Maybe they can buy it from somebody else, order it direct, or maybe they didn't get the right impression of what it is or how it works. And by making, as Paul has always sort of taught us as well, you know, curiosity. We need to create curiosity so people ask us questions so we can have a conversation with them. And as we saw in the graph that I created, no matter where you're going on Facebook to talk to people, everything is always linking back to your profile page. So having your profile looking as good as you possibly can is of so much importance, and it could make the big difference in whether somebody chooses to ask you questions, chooses to work from you, chooses to buy something from you, or chooses to join your team. So I'd invite anybody who's interested, send me a friend request. You can follow me. I also have a companion PDF to go along with this challenge. And if you'd like that, you can just message me as well, and I'll make sure that I can get that to you. But otherwise, we'll be starting on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the Voxination team page, and it'll be live. You'll be able to ask me questions, just typing into the comments if you have any questions about what we're going through. And again, I'll be breaking it down into bite-sized, doable pieces so that you can start getting comfortable with it and have some time to work with it. And then the next day we'll do another assignment and just go from there.
Now, Carla, does anybody need to do anything special to be able to join this challenge? Do they have to just, are you going to do a post and have everybody say, I'm in, I'm in, I'm in?
Let's do that. Absolutely. And then you'll just show up on Voxination and I will just come live on the page. So similar
Right.
to.
So that'll be great. Carla will do a post on the team page with a little bit more about the challenge. She'll ask the question, are you in or are you not in? And if you're going to be in, put I'm in. The nice thing is we're going to create a units tab for this challenge. And so the recordings will be in there as well. So if you can't make it every day, no problem. That's the nice thing about our training calls. You know, we had over 80 people on the call today between the Zoom call and live in the team page. So we've only really started going live the last two training calls in Team Voxination with our training. So it's nice to have that option where people, you know, if they're late, they can jump on or whatever, or they can tag teammates that you're live or whatever. And then the other thing is too, is that if you like the training that has gone live in the team page, you can always do your own watch party with it at a later date, which is really a nice tool to use as well. But I encourage all of us to take this challenge. I mean, we're all working in the pursuit of perfection, in the pursuit of excellence. And certainly Carla has had some incredible training on this with regards to Facebook and the advantages we can have on our profile page to create more of an interest, create more of a following with people that are of like minds or curious. And it's one of the things that, myself and Paul have always reiterated: do not, if you can help it at all, use the name Vox Life on any of your posts, because we don't want to create Google doctors. We don't want to create researchers and so on. We want to be able to connect with people so that we can take the conversation offline and talk to them logically offline on a phone, because the phone still does work. I mean, you can still pick up the phone and use the phone. It doesn't always have to be through Messenger or through texting, but certainly having a great profile page is so key. And I know that I certainly going to look at my own with all Carla's tips and do some improvements on mine as well. And I think the challenge will be fun for all of us.
Yeah, the challenge will be great, and we'll have a little more communication too about, as I briefly talked about, not only just for what we're presenting to people, but how we can start looking at other people's profile pages to create better communication with them. We'll talk a little bit more too about, how are you going to respond when people are commenting on your profile page changes. So people will say, oh, nice picture, whatever. Okay, what do we do now? So we'll talk a little bit more. And I think we're going to continue on with this kind of conversation and help to, share ideas and tidbits and information on ways we can communicate better with our audiences. Just like you were saying, Terry, where we're not just talking about our product all the time, but we're creating value as to who we are. We're finding our ideal audience. We are communicating with people who are attracted to us because we're unique. You may think there's a million people selling something, but not a million people named Val or Sharon or Glenda, or they're not you. And that's what people are there for. They're here for you.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. We all have value. We all have value, and we can all, improve with the value that we have to offer through social media. And of course, the evolved economy is social media and online shopping. So we either embrace it or get left behind. And I've always said that, and I think it's a great saying that the only room in my house is the room for improvement. So when we have, great people like Carla who've invested their time and are willing to teach us, and it's the old, as Ray Higdon says, ILT: invest, learn, and then teach it. And so, it's just brilliant, and we're all blessed to have this kind of training and be open to get better and make those adjustments. And I know that I've heard lots of comments before, and I'm sure you have, Carla, as well, saying, when we first talked about doing lives, and people were like, oh my goodness, I got my first customer from doing a live, and I was so scared, and I was so terrible. And I always said, the cool thing is not to be afraid to suck at something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be brave enough to suck at something for a while. And so, the improvements that we'll make on our profile page, and have a challenge to do it, not to be critical per se, but to allow us all to be the best united in this mission of helping 1 billion people. And I think it's brilliant.
Well, and we're going to have some fun. And even if you're not really, maybe you're going, I'm just not ready to go there yet, come and listen. Just come and hear what it's about and absorb some of that. The second thing that you'll take away from this too is it'll be a good look at your consistency, how you're working, because consistency is so key in this business. And so if you've made a choice that you go, this is what I need to do for my business, I'm choosing to commit 5 days where I show up at a certain time, whether it's the 2 o'clock or I'm setting a time in my day, I'm going to do this. And then start looking at what maybe some of the obstacles are that show up for you. Maybe you have family and maybe you haven't communicated with them this time that you need to set aside, or maybe you're being interrupted by other things and you start to recognize that. So as a secondary to learning about how to update and use your profile page, you're also going to be seeing, how you're committed to things. where your time is being spent, how it's being interrupted, and getting more aware, if you will. So there's a lot of other good things that come from this too. And, you know, that's been something that I've been working on for a long time now, my consistency and becoming more aware of how I'm easily interrupted or distracted, and, you know, working little step. It all starts with the awareness. So we'll talk a little bit about that too. We can't hear you, Terry.
Sorry, Carl, what I was saying, and being willing to learn, being willing to be open to say, hey, I can get better. I can get better at this, right? And that's what's exciting. What do you think, folks? Was that great stuff tonight? Was that awesome training? As always, I told you she packs a mean punch, that Carla Archer girl. She can train like nobody's business, and we're all so lucky to have her. So thank you so much, Carla, on behalf of the field here. I'm excited. Let's get this post up tomorrow, and let's get Rev together. And in these unprecedented times, we can fight through this. We can still share our technology. We can still help people be better, but we can also be better at how we do it and what we do to present ourselves. So thank you so much for that, Carla. Just a little bit of remembrance here. I want to make sure that we remember to share our teams. The Vox Life Summit, the Ignite Summit, January 22nd and 23rd. There are under 50 tickets left to go. So there's under 50 tickets to sell out. So if you have teammates, it's a great incentive to run a little contest. It's a great gift to bring a teammate with you to share. And if you can't make it, or teammates can't make it, they have to understand that that's okay, because if you buy a ticket, you are gonna get all the recordings of every speaker. So for the amount of speakers that we have and the value, and I don't know whether any of you have ever read Big Al Scheider's books or listened to Big Al speak. He's an incredible guy, so down to earth, an amazing guy, and he is on tap to be one of our trainers along with his son. So well worth the $25 to invest in you to get better. So just a reminder, let's get these tickets. They won't last long. There's under 50 left. I think there was around 46 when I talked to Jen today. And so they will go. So please send reminders out to your teammates, and let's fill this call and make this Ignite Summit a great launch to 2021 as we go forward to continue to share this incredible technology. Thank you all for taking the time tonight to be on this call. I appreciate you. I know that Carla appreciates you. You take the time out of your evenings to spend some time with us and to learn. And I know that we're all grateful for that, especially those that are doing the training and putting such an effort in to putting these trainings together. We're all very grateful that you've showed up tonight, and you're showing great leadership. And as Jay has always said, that your team will only do 50% of what you do. So if you're not showing up, great chance your team won't show up either. So you're setting the pace and breaking trail for your team when you show up there, show up on these training calls that we do. So anyways, thank you all for being on the call tonight once again. We'll look forward to seeing everybody Wednesday. We have our UK training call that is posted in the announcements. If we can get on and support our UK friends, our UK leaders over there as well, you're welcome to invite any teammates onto that call as well, coming up on this Wednesday. I believe it's 3 p.m. So Eastern Standard Time. So thank you all. Have a great week, everybody. Let's get out there, share this technology as much as we can via online, via sneak them through your back door, whatever you have to do. Get this tech on people, and let's make a difference and add impact in this world. Thanks again, everybody. Good night.
Night.
Good night. See you.
You can
Good night, everybody.
say good night.
Thanks, up,
Hey.
Carla.
Nice to see you, Kev.
Good job, Carla.
Thanks for being here.